us remotely and for everyone here in the room. The invocation today will be provided by Elkmont Baptist Church Pastor Sammy Hooker. Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Josh Rogers. Let me make one more statement before we go to the invocation. We will enact the fire code when all the seats are occupied. There will be no one standing like it was for the last full house we had. And we'll open the back doors up, and those standing can stay in the hallway. Invocation, please.
Well, I know I'm old. I didn't know you was going to stand for me.
Yes, sir.
It's scary when a preacher gets up, but let me share something with you. I didn't know until Monday that I was going to be doing this. But the Lord troubled me over this because I've always felt like it was kind of a token thing when the pastor got up to pray. But he began to deal with me. Now, I want you to understand something. He gave me a verse of scripture this morning out of the book of Luke. When they call you before the judges and synagogues and magistrates, take no thought how or what you're going to say. And then also he brought to me Romans, that I don't even know what to pray. I don't even know how to pray. But I want to try to pray for you this morning. And I want to tell this mayor, and I want to tell you commissioners, several years ago, God laid you on my heart to pray for you. Every morning in my private time, I ask God to touch your hearts. I ask God to touch this town because our town's messed up. Our people are messed up. I pastor a church. My people at my church are messed up. I don't have many of y'all go to church. Let me give you an invitation to Elkmont. July the 12th through the 15th, we're going to have a revival. Now, I know people have given up on that, but I ain't yet. But I want to lead you in a word of prayer, all right? Father, I come to you today, and I come to you through your Son, Jesus, the one who was and is to come. I call upon you who are almighty. I call upon you, Lord, who is Jehovah, Elohim, the God of the Bible. I ask you, God, for your power to set down upon this people. Lord Jesus, I pray you'd give wisdom to these who have been elected. Lord, they're trying to please those who elected them. They're trying to please those who voted against them. They're trying to please the constituents. They're trying to please all the people of this county. God, in today's world, it's almost impossible to please three people, much less anybody else. God, I pray that you would open our hearts to you. Lord, we've got a new God in town. He's been here for a long, long time, but he's more prevalent than ever before. It's called a dollar. Everybody wants more. Nobody's satisfied with what they have. Everybody wants more. Every one of us who are taxpayers want more in our pocket. We want to have less taken away from us. And God, I pray that you would help us, Lord, that we might remember that the Bible tells us that except the Lord to keep the city, the watchman wakes but in vain. And God, I pray that you would move upon these commissioners. I pray for our mayor. I pray, God, that you would move upon the people who are gathered in this room today, that you would give them civility. I pray, Heavenly Father, that you would allow each person to be able to, whatever they need to say, they can say it, but say it in a way that would honor you. Lord, I ask you that you would grant these commissioners the wisdom on what they need to do to be able to help this town. And Lord, I ask you that you would be Lord of all. God, I pray for people in this room today that are not saved, that they might come to know you as Savior and Lord. I pray for these families that are gathered here. Lord, that you would touch the hearts of these dads, that they might begin to be the spiritual leaders in those houses. And God, I come to you today, and I ask you, Lord Jesus, that your Spirit would just absolutely set down upon this place today in this meeting. And Lord, I thank you for what you do for them. I thank you how you lead. And I thank you, Lord, for whatever the result is. I give it all into your hands, and I ask it in the name that's above every name, the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll now have the roll call, please.
Blake.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Gilbert.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Goins.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
Mason.
Here.
Ledford.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Winters.
Here.
Beatty.
Here.
Hughes.
Here.
Alford.
Here.
Cry.
Here.
It's 14 present and none absent.
Thank you. Now entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes. Commissioner Slater on the Motion and a second by Commissioner Goins. Open for discussion. There being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes,
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
thank you. We'll now move along to the report from the county mayor. Mayor Davis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. I have no report today, and I realize there is a public hearing where you will allow the citizens to speak in a few moments, but I want to go ahead and make my comments now. I realize what I have to say today probably won't change a single vote. However, I believe it's important to make my position clear and to stand where I believe the taxpayers of Bradley County expect me to stand. Today, the Commission is being asked to consider setting a tax rate and adopting changes to the budget proposal that would raise additional revenue to fund a significant increase in county employee salaries. The proposal reflects a real desire to address pay concerns across county government. But this decision is about more than whether we value our employees. It's also about how we fund county government, what burden we place on the taxpayers, and whether we are willing to live within the limits of the budget that I originally presented. This is not an easy issue, and I don't want to pretend that it is. County employees matter. First responders matter. The work they do matters. I've said that publicly. I've said it privately, and the budget that I proposed reflects that belief. In the budget I presented, I recommended a 3% raise for county employees, along with a targeted increase of 6% for fire employees, 6% plus longevity for EMS, 6.9% for law enforcement. That recommendation was not made casually. It was an effort to address real pay concerns, especially in public safety, while still presenting a balanced budget that lives within our means and respects the taxpayers who fund county government. Recently, someone said to me, we are living within our means. We have the means to raise taxes. How pathetic. I understand the desire to do more. I really do. We have good people working for Bradley County, and many of them deserve more than we are able to do in one budget year. But the hard truth is that county government cannot solve every pay issue at once without asking the taxpayers to carry a larger burden. And at some point, we have to be honest about what we can afford, not just what we would like to do. The proposal before this body would raise taxes in order to fund a significant across-the-board increase in employee salaries. I believe that goes beyond what is responsible. I believe it places too much of the burden back on families, on seniors, on small businesses, and working people of our community who are also dealing with higher costs in their own lives. The news media keeps talking about 8.5 cents. More people live outside the city than live in the city. 8.5 cents inside the city, 10 cents in the rural area, and 12.26 cents in the fringe area. That's what we're looking at today. My responsibility is not only to county employees, and it's not only to first responders, but my responsibility is to the entire county. That includes the people who depend on the county services, the employees who provide those services, and yes, the taxpayers who pay for those services. I support improving pay. I support being competitive. I support taking care of the people who take care of this county. I also believe we have to do that in a way that is sustainable, is measured, and fair to the people footing the bill. The budget I proposed was not perfect. No budget ever is, but it was balanced. That means no tax increase. It made progress. It addressed employee pay. It prioritized first responders, and it did so without going back to the taxpayers for a tax increase. This is not a vote against employees. It's not a vote against first responders. It's a decision to say that government has to live within its means, just like the people we serve are expected to do every single day. We can and should continue working on employee pay. We can and should continue looking for ways to become more competitive. I believe we should do that through responsible budgeting, through long-term planning and disciplined spending, not by raising taxes when a balanced alternative was already presented. At the end of the day, I work for the taxpayers of Bradley County. I respect our employees deeply, but I cannot support asking taxpayers for more when I believe we had a responsible path forward without raising taxes. Again, I presented you a balanced budget with a 3% raise for all employees. Cost of living is 2%. A 3% raise for all employees, 6% raise for firefighters, 6% plus longevity for EMS, and 6.9% for law enforcement, with no tax increase. Yes, I was elected to work for the taxpayers of Bradley County, and I remind you, this commission was elected to represent the taxpayers of Bradley County. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions for the mayor? Any questions for the mayor? Being no questions, thank you. We'll now move along to the reports from committees and or districts. We will start on our left with Commissioner Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the 25th year of Ocoee Middle School. I was there when it began. We had one of our fine members of faculty that passed away this week, Archie McDaniel. Archie McDaniel comes from a great family here in Bradley County. He was a fine coach of wrestling. He was a math teacher and matured a lot of young men along the way with Gold Academy as well. I was at his funeral this past week. Pastor Gwen did a tremendous job of sending him home. But this is one of the first of our, besides Ron Spangler, one or two others that may have passed. But this 25 years since Ocoee began, that was a tremendous group of people that took on the transition of moving to a middle school from a Bradley Junior concept. So Archie was very much a part of that, and I wanted to make sure that we remembered he and those individuals that made that school what it is today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Rogers, please.
No report today, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few things. We all want to also remember Sandra Knight, former road superintendent. She passed away. Went to her funeral last night, our funeral home, to visit her last night. Mr. Winters spoke of Archie McDaniels. I was in the National Guard with Archie. He was a great guy. He served our country. He also served our community as a teacher. He's a great guy. I also want to mention one of our EMS guys. He's a new father, John Ford. He's a friend of mine at the hospital. He's got a new baby, so I just wanted to mention him. The nursing home committee met last week. The nursing home is doing really well. It's progressing forward. We were having some issues some months ago, but now it is doing much, much better. So we're seeing progress in finances, and everything seems to be going great there. Museum Center, of course, everybody knows we have the concerts there. I don't know if you've seen the outside pavilion stage that they have out there. It really looks nice. And the concert is tonight with Dexter Thomas Band. And last, I want to thank everybody from the 6 districts that's here and the county as a whole. I can't name all of you, but there's several of my people that are here from the 6th district. I thank you for coming. I hope I stand true to you and stand firm on what the beliefs of my people in the 6th district want. And I hope that each and every commissioner up here today stands for what their people in their district want. Just like the mayor said, we work for the people. That's who elected us to this job. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing to report today.
Commissioner Goins.
Fifth district doing well. Nothing to report. Thank you.
Commissioner Thompson.
Nothing to report.
Commissioner Gilbert.
I'd just like to echo the statements from Tommy about Sandra Knight. Her husband and I was very good friends, best friends, and be praying for their family, and that's all from me.
Commissioner Mason.
Thank you, Chairman. A couple, 2 or 3 things today. Heavy hearts today for Sandra Knight and her family. Sandra was a good good friend. I'm sure everyone up on this commission and everyone here today will be remembering her family and just we'll miss Sandra. And I'd also like to say thank you to State Representative Dan Howe. Been working with him for about 6 months. Had a lot of constituents in my district call about Route 74, which is Spring Place Road. Well, I got a call from Dan yesterday, and Route 74 Spring Place is going to start being paved on the 7th. Signs and everything in the district should start up in the next few days, and that's good news because you haven't driven down Spring Place Road in a while. It's pretty worn, but thanks to TDOT, Jeff Hibbard, supervisor over there out of Chattanooga. Jeff was a good friend of mine. He called and stated, just be careful because he said they're going to be out there working on it. And I just want to say I hope everyone has a safe and joyful 4th of July holiday too. We won't be back till after the holidays, and wow, it's 250 years. That's a special celebration. Love our country. That's all I have. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Collins, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No report today.
Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, my condolences to Sandra Knight's family and friends. She came on board and was elected the same year as many of us in 14, and we served with her for 8 years as she was a superintendent of roads, and just praying for her family right now. That was a quick diagnosis, I believe, on that. So, also, yesterday I had an opportunity to meet with Dr. Cook, president of Lee University, and gave a quick little update on the engineering building that you see over on Parker Street at Lee University. It's going well, and they anticipate having it ready to go in November, coincide with their homecoming. So another addition, an asset to the 3rd District in Bradley County with Lee University School of Engineering. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Alford.
No report from District 2.
Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing today.
Commissioner Beatty.
I have nothing to report either.
Thank you. We'll now move along to the approval of the agenda. I have a motion. Goins, I have a second. Hughes on the second. Open for discussion. Being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. We'll now move along to agenda item A. Commissioner Mylan Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Are you entering into public? I apologize. I had to move up here. Item A, fiscal year 2025-26 final budget amendments on page 3. This is obviously the budget amendments that are coming in the current budget, not the budget that's getting proposed. So, Caleb, were these are more true ups than from the other day? Okay, thank you. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I put the final budget amendments in the form of motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Slater on the second. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson. Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
We'll now move along to agenda item B, the public hearing. Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, Mayor, and citizens of Bradley County, as the legislative body of Bradley County, we are charged by Tennessee Code annotated 5-12-210 with two of the most important responsibilities: adopting a balanced budget and establishing the county tax rate. Today marks the culmination of a rigorous process that began on February 19th to develop the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget and a tax rate for Bradley County. Over the past several months, elected officials, constitutional officers, and department heads have scrutinized their operation and submitted budget requests to the coming year. They've identified priorities, evaluated needs, and made difficult choices. One issue emerged repeatedly across all departments, not only this year, but in many years, and that is employee compensation. Unfortunately, the harsh reality is that too many county employees cannot afford to live in the community they serve. Far too long, county compensation has fallen behind, and we are actively losing dedicated team members to neighboring governments and private employers that offer more competitive wages. For years, Bradley County has experienced significant employee turnover. That turnover carries a significant cost through recruitment, hiring, training, and onboarding. More recently, however, we have encountered an even greater challenge. Positions that remain vacant because of qualified candidates simply are not applying. We recently watched the top 10 graduates of a local academy choose not to seek Bradley County as a place of employment. We currently have funded positions that remain unfilled because our compensation is not competitive. The livable wage in Bradley County is approximately $41,700 per year. Today, more than 26% of our county workforce earns less than that amount. We have employees who have dedicated 15, 20, and even more years of service to Bradley County who still earn less than $35,000 annually. This should concern every one of us. There are not just numbers on a spreadsheet. These are the people who maintain our facilities, support our courts, keep our public records, and provide the day-to-day services that our residents depend upon. These are the people who make Bradley County function. I recognize that the tax rate before us is a bit more than what taxpayers typically see. No one, I repeat, no one on this commission takes this lightly. Every dollar collected comes from hardworking families, retirees, business owners throughout Bradley County, and we have a responsibility to be good stewards of these tax dollars. For the median home valued at $350,000, the proposal represents an average annual increase of approximately $89. Depending on the applicable fire tax district, that amounts to about $7.42 per month, or less than 25 cents a day. The question before us is not whether these workforce issues exist. The question is whether we prioritize them responsibly today or continue postponing them for the future with a greater cost. Before arriving at this recommendation, we have exhausted every reasonable alternative. This budget is not the result of unchecked spending. There is no excess here. There is no luxury. There is only a responsible plan to meet the baseline obligations, maintain essential services, and invest in people who deliver them. At the same time, this budget achieves a major milestone for our county's long-term financial health. Our financial health and public safety. Through prudent planning, this budget reduces our current debt by $6.4 million, saving taxpayer interest costs moving forward. It also funds critical public safety tools that our first responders desperately need to protect us. For law enforcement, it dedicates $1.2 million for sheriff department cars, vital radios, equipment, and building security locks. For emergency medical services, it secures a new ambulance and 2 convalescent vans to better serve our residents. And for fire and rescue department, it provides new turnout gear, 2 brush trucks, a command vehicle, and embedded a critical cancer protecting plan to safeguard the health of brave firefighters who risk their lives for us daily. Some may ask why annual cost of living adjustments are not enough, and the answer is simple. Cost of living adjustments only work when base wages are already sustainable. A 2 or 3% increase on a $30,000 salary does not solve the underlying problem. It simply indexes poverty. Today is about correcting years of compensation that failed to keep pace with rising housing costs, healthcare expenses, and the overall cost of living. Bradley County competes every day with municipalities, counties, and private employers for quality workers. We continue to underpay our staff. We continue to waste taxpayers' resources recruiting and training replacements. We will continue to lose experienced workers that cannot be easily replaced. Turnover is expensive. Vacancies are very costly. Competitive compensation is not an employee perk. It is a taxpayer protection strategy. Investing in our workforce protects the quality of service our citizens come to expect. It preserves invaluable institutional knowledge, helps us recruit qualified candidates, reduces expensive turnover, and operate our county government more efficiently. In the long run, it is the fiscal responsible thing to do. We often say our employees are our greatest asset. Today, we have an opportunity to demonstrate those words with meaning. This vote will not solve every challenge, but it decisively moves us in the right direction. It will move many of our employees closer to a livable wage. It ensures Bradley County becomes an employer of choice, rather than a free training ground for surrounding governments and private sector. More importantly, it affirms that the people who serve the citizens of Bradley County deserve the opportunity to work in Bradley County and live in Bradley County. I believe this budget is responsible. I believe it is necessary, and it represents a direct investment in our community's future. And most certainly, I believe a government should not rely on employees remaining in poverty to balance the budget. For those reasons, I respectfully ask for your support. But before we vote, I do want to thank all the elected officials who submitted their budget requests, come to all the meetings, answer all of our questions, replied to emails. I want to thank all the department heads. I want to thank the members of the Finance Committee. Your countless hours of work on this proposal is sincerely appreciated. With that, Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the resolution fixing the tax levy of the County Fire District, Bradley County, Tennessee for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026.
We will now enter into a public hearing regarding this resolution. When you're recognized, please keep your remarks germane to the resolution at hand. That's the fire. That's not the next. The next resolution will cover other areas, but this one is fire only. Please keep your remarks germane. And is there anyone present who wishes to speak for or against this request?
Mr. Chairman, real quick, may I have my remarks entered into the minutes, please?
You can have your remarks entered into the minutes. Mr. Elkins, please. Please, I also admit to say, please limit your remarks to 5 minutes if you can.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I served on the county commission, I think it was 2000 to 2008. I retired from Bendix Allied Signal in 97. And I draw the same retirement pay today that I drew when I retired. And cost of groceries, gas, everything keeps going up. And I'm here today to speak on behalf of the citizens of Bradley County who have to pay taxes. A tax increase is not what we need today. Everything is going up, food, gas, everything. And a tax increase just takes away what people on fixed incomes have to live on. So I just want you to take that into consideration. If you're working, you probably get an increase every year in your pay. But people who are retired don't get an increase in their pay. They get a little Social Security increase from time to time, but nothing from the government. And so just keep this in mind when you vote on today's agenda. And remember, all of the taxpayers in Bradley County have the right to vote against you if you raise taxes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, please. Yes, please.
My name is Brittany Graylis. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. I am the wife of Battalion Commander Justin Graylis, who's been with the fire department for over a decade. I attended the recent meetings regarding the proposed tax increase, and I left from those meetings feeling saddened and disappointed. One after another, people approached the podium and began with the same statement: I support these firefighters, but. And then came the reasons that they could not support the small increase that would help provide better pay for the men and women who dedicate their lives in protecting this community. As the wife of a firefighter, I wish those same people could spend just one day seeing what we see. Many say they know how difficult the work is. Respectfully, most do not. They do not see the calls involving children. They do not see the broken bodies, the grief, and the trauma. They do not watch someone walk through the door after a shift carrying images that will never completely go away and memories that they cannot always share. They do not see the emotional burden that accumulates year after year as firefighters witness people on the worst day of their lives. But the families see it. We see the missed holidays and birthdays, the sleepless nights, and the exhaustion. We know that every emergency call comes with the possibility that life will never quite be the same afterward. My husband once described it as putting difficult memories into a bowl. Every tragic call, every death, every heartbreaking scene gets put into that bowl, and over time that bowl fills up. Firefighters learn to carry it because the job demands it, but that does not make the burden any less real. That is why it is so painful to hear people repeatedly claim to support the firefighters while opposing a modest investment in the very people they say that they support. Bradley County firefighters are among the lowest paid in the region. These are not people asking to become wealthy. They are asking for fair compensation for work that most of us could never imagine doing. They are asking for support from the community that they have sworn to protect. When your house is on fire, when your child is not breathing, when a loved one's heart stops beating, these men and women come without hesitation. They come on the holidays. They come in the middle of the night. They come when the rest of us are experiencing the most terrifying moments of our lives. How heartbreaking must it be for them to sit in a room and hear over and over again, we support you, but not enough to invest in you. Actions speak louder than words. If we truly support our firefighters, we should show it. We should support efforts to recruit and retain qualified personnel. We should ensure that those carrying the emotional, physical, and mental weight of protecting the community are not also burdened by unnecessary financial stress. I hope the community remembers that behind every firefighter is a family that sees the sacrifices, carries the worries, and lives with the reality of what the profession demands. Our firefighters have spent years showing up for us, and it's time for the community to show up for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, please.
Thank you. My name is Bradley Griffith. I want to begin to explain to you who I am. I'm a hydrogen plant employee. I am a blue-collared man. I often work 60 to 80 hours a week, sometimes more. My family lives in a below-average home. I drive an old truck that squeaks, squeals, and turns heads for all the wrong reasons. We are essentially a single-income household. We live paycheck to paycheck. We don't have a savings account or a financial safety net. It wasn't always this way, but with today's economy, this is where we are. With that, my family has a home, a safe place, water, power, internet, heating and air, vehicles to get us from place to place, and a full stomach when we lay down at bed at night. Make no mistake, I have a good job. I am incredibly grateful, and I consider myself blessed. This is not a complaint. I tell you all this because when I say I support raising taxes to fund public safety, You know those words are coming from someone who understands financial hardship. I'm not asking from a place of comfort. I am asking from a place of sacrifice. The real question before us isn't whether any of us wants to pay more taxes. None of us do. The question is, what are we willing to sacrifice and ensure the safety and security of the families of our neighborhood and our community? For me, the increase in property tax would relatively be small because I have chosen to live within my means. When I received a raise, promotion, I didn't buy a larger house or a newer truck. I understood that one day those extra dollars would be needed elsewhere. And they have been as the cost of living has gone up. Living with your means also teaches you something important. When unexpected expenses come along, you adapt. As a parent, spouse, responsible adult, we make difficult choices. We prioritize what matters. My family's safety, your family's safety, is worth more than a few trips to the fast food restaurant, a couple of rounds of golf, or a vacation. Over the past year, I had the opportunity to meet with several groups, including MFC, military members, firefighters, and law enforcement officers, as well as Mission First, a Bible study group of a largely responder dedicated to worshiping God and helping the homeless, not only providing food and shelter, but helping people rebuild their lives. I've also witnessed firsthand the countless charitable efforts our first responders participate in, whether it's standing outside of a store, collecting donations, competing between departments to raise money for local causes, or taking children shopping during the holidays. They consistently go beyond the call of duty, even after they leave. They are the true spirit of this county. They are the men and women our children call heroes. I believe the proposed budget was very well thought out. A tremendous amount of work went into it, balancing the county's needs while avoiding a tax increase. It included additional trucks, turnout gear, squad cars, and much other needed equipment. I truly believe he used what he had to work with to try to make things better for this county. But equipment alone isn't enough. My concern is that the 6% raise would not be enough to retain the people who drive those fire trucks, wear the turnout gear, patrol in the squad cars, and respond to our medical emergencies. I want school resource officers protecting our children. I want deputies keeping drugs off our street. I want firefighters ready when families experience the worst moments of their lives. I want EMTs providing the highest level of care possible all the way to the hospital. All that requires people. These men and women have done something that many of us, including myself, find difficult to do. They have asked for help. Not for luxury homes, not for expensive vehicles, not for lavish vacations. Simply the opportunity to earn enough to support their families and pursue the American dream. Imagine having to answer to your spouse when they ask, why do you risk your life every day when you can barely provide for it? That is an incredibly difficult question. And eventually, after hearing it enough, many decide they can no longer justify the sacrifice. Our first responders and our families every day sacrifice. I'm willing to pay more in taxes because I believe they deserve our support. Unfortunately, that decision now rests with you. This vote has real consequences. It could determine whether a firefighter has backup they need, whether an ambulance is fully staffed, whether a deputy arrives in time, whether someone in this community survives the worst day of their life. I've watched this commission for years. I have missed very few work sessions: voting, legal, road, fire, finance. You may even go as far as say, I'm your biggest fan. Finance has always been my favorite. I'm a numbers guy. I watched the commission review every dollar, transfer between departments, credits, even.
Mr. Chairman, I'll give him 5 more minutes.
We have to, your 5 minutes are up. I have to take a vote on the additional 5 minutes.
Take a motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Second that. We got a first and a second. Call the roll, please.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater. Yes. Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor, none opposed.
Go ahead, sir.
So the transfer between departments, credit card transitions, even $5 expenses. This tells me they take your responsibility of taxpayers seriously. It tells me every dollar is accounted for and is put in its proper place. Numbers don't lie, And if they do, the truth eventually comes out. So when you tell me this is the only responsible path forward to properly fund public safety, I believe you, because I've watched you through the process. I've learned from you, and I've seen firsthand how much each of you care about the people in this community. At the end of the day, it is not your responsibility to manage every family's household budget. Public safety should always be among the highest priorities. It is your responsibility to make a decision that serves best for the entire county. It is our responsibilities as adults to sacrifice and to budget our own homes when a change or an unexpected happens. Public safety should always be among the highest. I was raised with the values I imagine many of you share. One of them has always stayed with me. We take care of our own, always. Tonight's vote is about correcting a wrong that has existed for way too long. The question isn't whether it's difficult. The question is whether we have the courage to do what is right. Whether we're willing to invest in the people who stand ready to protect us on our worst days. We often hear the phrase, pray for the best, prepare for the worst. It is time for us to start preparing for the worst. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. God bless.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Bill McClure, and I live on family farm that's been in operation since 1836. And so, I think Bradley County has a responsibility to pay its employees fairly. Our deputies, road workers, emergency responders, school support staff, clerks, maintenance workers, and other county employees are not luxuries. They are people that keep the local government functioning every day. And if we want to retain good people and provide reliable services, we must be willing to pay competitive compensation packages. But the first answer should not be another property tax increase, as property taxes falls heavily on the people who already live here, especially farmers, retirees, families on fixed income, and long-time homeowners and landowners who are not causing the wave of growth that we're seeing. Farmers are already under a significant amount of pressure for rising equipment cost, build cost, insurance, labor costs, and development pressure on agricultural land. In fact, Tennessee is the 5th in the country at losing agricultural land. Raising property tax asks them to carry much more burden for growth they often did not create and may not benefit from. And Commissioner Blake, you mentioned 41,000 as a living wage. How many farmers are hitting that number? Okay. Bradley County needs to find a fairer approach to growth that should help pay for this growth. Now, I had the opportunity to live in Williamson County for a time, and they had shown a path forward using development-related fees to help offset public costs created by new residential growth. As you see everywhere, there's neighborhoods popping up everywhere. When new subdivisions are built, they did not just add houses, they add traffic, school capacity, emergency service demands, and long-term pressure on county services. Those costs do not disappear. The only question is who pays for them. Right now, too much of that burden is being pushed onto existing taxpayers. That is not fair, it's not conservative, and it's not sustainable. Bradley County should adopt a legally sound building impact for adequate facilities, tax structures, modeled after counties that have already done this, and address this issue so that development contributes towards the infrastructure and public facilities it requires. This should be done carefully, transparently, and in compliance with Tennessee law. The county should commission a professional study, identify the actual capital costs created by growth, set fees based on a clear formula, and dedicate money to eligible growth-related needs such as schools, roads, public safety facilities, and other infrastructure. This is not an anti-growth position for Bradley County, and Bradley County can welcome growth while still insisting that growth be responsible. Good development strengthens a community. Excessive development without adequate funding strains roads, schools, emergency services, taxpayers, and quality of life. Developers make money by building here because Bradley County is a desirable place to live, but it's also very inexpensive to build here. It is reasonable to ask new development to contribute to the public cost it creates. Existing farmers and homeowners should not be treated as the default funding source every time the county government needs to catch up with growth. Some will argue that impact fees increase the cost of housing, and that concern should be taken seriously. But property tax increases also increase the cost of living, and they've hit people whether they bought a new home, inherited family farmland, or lived here for decades. A well-designed developmental fee is more targeted than a broad property tax increase. It places more of the burden where the new demand begins. County employees deserve raises. The public deserves dependable services. Farmers and existing homeowners deserve protection, being used as the first and easiest revenue source. Bradley County should pursue a balanced plan, control spending where possible, pay employees fairly, protect long-term taxpayers, and require new development to pay for its fair share it creates. Before raising property taxes, Bradley County should adopt a developmental fee system that helps cover the growth fund for roads, schools, safety services, and infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
My name's Caleb Lazatter. I'm in the 2nd District, and I'm also the secretary of our local International Association of Firefighters Union, Local 4868. I was elected by these fine men and women behind you to represent them to you all. One, I want you to understand that we have empathy for the farmers. I was raised via agriculture. My dad was in that industry for over 30 years. I've worked with some of these individuals over here. We don't want to push anybody out for doing something, especially that their family has done for generations. But our people over here are hurting. Some of these folks, it's how do I afford rent? How am I able to buy a home? We've experienced 105% appreciation in home values over the last 10 years. We haven't had 105% appreciation in income. Every single loss that we had, we just had a firefighter put a 2-week notice in yesterday. That's another vacancy. We're not having people come in and apply for our fire department because of our compensation, and it's something that we have to fix. Because if we don't, we're not going to have enough people to staff stations. We're going to have to shut down stations. We're going to lose ISO ratings. And more of these guys are going to have conversations about when we're in 2-man trucks and we show up to a house with entrapment and the other truck is 7 minutes away. Am I going to ghost pump this engine and go in there with nobody behind me to go and try to save a life and possibly lose mine? They shouldn't be having to have that conversation. Many of you served in the military. You understand that brotherhood. You understand looking out for the guy behind you. And that's all that we're trying to do here. We just want to make sure that we can provide for our families, give our kids a decent Christmas. We had our short check today, right? It's like $900 for me for 2 weeks. I'm about to have to go get an MRI on my knee. My copay is going to be $250. My family's going to be left with $750 for the next 2 weeks. That's tough to live on. I understand this is a hard decision. I've been included in internet memes with all of you. I've been included in mean things being said. Nobody's going to come out of this sparkly. Support those that are willing to stand in the gap for you. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Next, please. Try to keep our comments related to the fire. This is the fire tax. We'll get to the others later. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Alan Miller. I'm in the 4th District, Mr. Blake is my council person. I'm going to speak on behalf of a group of people that probably is not even represented here tonight. You probably haven't gotten phone calls from them. I doubt if anybody's contacted you and said, vote this way or vote that way. And that's the people, the approximate, depending on what survey you look at, the approximate 13,000 people in Bradley County that live at or below the poverty rate. I don't know if you know the dollar amount or not. Salaries were mentioned, dollar figures were mentioned, but the poverty rate is somewhere less than $15,000 a year. Those people that live in Bradley, that 13,000 people that live in this county that make less than $15,000 a year are going to be impacted by this tax increase. They may not own property, but they're going to have to rent a house. They're going to have to live somewhere. They're here. They're going to have to, some way, they're going to have to absorb that increase. Their rents may go up. Their property tax rate may go up. I don't know. But they're going to have to absorb that. You know, I am retired too. One of the gentlemen spoke earlier. I live on a fixed income. Thank God I don't live at $15,000 a year. But I do have to watch every nickel I spend. I have to be very careful about it. That tax increase, if it comes, means I'm going to have to turn off a few more lights. I'm going to hang a little more laundry out on the line, use a little electricity, drive a little less because gas is unaffordable now. So it's going to impact me. I can't imagine what it's going to do to those 13,000 people that live at that $15,000 or less rate. So just thank you very much for your time. And I pray for you. I pray the decisions that you make are thoughtful and from the heart and led by God. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Chairman, Mayor, boy, it's tall, wasn't it? Thank you. Better?
A lot better.
I'll be brief, and I've even made some points, so I'll do best if I misspeak. Please correct me. But in short, here just to kind of make some points. I'm not saying I'm for or against, and anybody can pick that or make their comments make it seem that way. But in short, I ask you all, is it not true that this mayor was elected by 120,000 people? Has presented a balanced budget to this legislative body, as mentioned a minute ago. Balanced budget, which we don't hear those anymore except by state constitutions for the legislature. Regardless of what that considers or contains, and he's got everything from 3% to, if you ever come up here during the day, you don't see firemen, you see a few places, you see these ladies in here working like crazy. There's a 3% there for them increase, 6% for EMS, 6.9, and that's with longevity, I think, the 6%, if I understood correctly. It's 6.9 for law enforcement. And if there's money in the budget, I don't care what the percentage is, if it's 20%, as long as it's in the budget, that's allotted in this county. This is a county commission, not the city council. Every time a business comes out to the county and grows, the city snaps it up. And so we're becoming a bedroom community in the county where we live, because any industry that comes that way, and I'm in the county, not just because I live across the line. I mean, I'm in the farms. I got neighbors sitting here with me. I didn't bring them, but thank God they're here. The point I'm making, Mr. Chairman, is kind of got to balance that, because the annexation of anything coming our way, even not industrial or any of that way, was county. And he said, the farther it comes this way, there's no tax base. And by having to come in and give a tax increase, again, whatever that may be, to 120,000 people, there's 800, I think, I'm rounding numbers again, I stand corrected, rounding numbers for around 800, give or take, of county employees. That considers all those three subject matters, of course, and all the wonderful ladies in here, they're fantastic. But that being said, that's the percentage that has been presented to you all as a body to vote on. Those are real numbers. As the gentleman said, they don't lie. Those are real numbers. that can be afforded right now by the 120,000 people in the county, Bradley County. But on the other hand, the point I'm making is that it's not get hung up on the percentages. Whatever's in that budget that we can afford to pay the people that come show up for you, don't ask your name when you call them for help, whatever we can pay them. But it should not come at the cost of affecting 120,000 people, whether they can or can't afford that tax increase. So with that, I would ask that you consider the last couple of questions, Mr. Chairman, and I'll be within my 5. I didn't know I had 5 minutes, but I'll be within it. Is simply this. Is it not true that the increase proposed is double what the national average of cost of living adjustment is? 2.8% for Social Security increase for 2026. 2.8. My mother's 86. She gets 2.8 increase. Worked retail her whole life. I didn't set those numbers. That's our national federal government, which I know you guys didn't set them either, but that's that percentage. And then the average corporate, you can look this up, the average corporate increase, whether it's Whirlpool or Home Depot, is 2 to 3.5%, period. You can Google those while you're sitting those there. So the numbers have been here, and some of these people in this room that lead our emergency service, they've been in my home. Unbelievable people. So it's not about people, because I don't want to get hung up on numbers, I said, Mr. Chairman. Whatever we can do it within our budget that we've been given. We all live on a budget. And in closing, I would simply say that I don't know what all you do for a living. I know growing up I had a lot of different jobs. I've done things, just want to go down them, Chairman. But short of it is I don't know if any of you all or people in this room that have jobs, whatever that profession may be, have ever gotten a 15% increase, 12%, 20%, just as a cost of living adjustment. So thank you for the time. Thank you, Mayor, for a balanced budget. And again, whatever percentage that we can give to these ladies and gentlemen, I support, as long as it fits within a budget of monies that we have without hurting the whole county. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Joshua David Capellish. I'm a chaplain, a father of 4 boys, and a veteran. This community is a great community, and I see a lot of participation, and this is wonderful to see as an American. Before I get started, I'd like to quote from this book I've been reading, A Republic If You Can Keep It, by Neil Gorsuch. Got it from the county library. It's a wonderful place to be. Civics and civility each serves a vital role in sustaining our republic, a nation established on the idea that government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. The people should govern themselves prudently without destroying the civil liberties their ancestors won. And maybe highest on the list is that the people themselves know how their government works and are willing to participate in its administration. And so that's what I was talking about and seeing everybody here about these issues. It's a very difficult thing to raise taxes, promote freedom, and a balanced budget. I brought a pencil today because I like to use it, writing, as opposed to typing. As we age, our eyes and bodies seem to fall apart and fail us at times when they didn't used to. And so, in part of my chaplain duties with the American Legion, the VFW, and recently the DAV, we build wheelchair ramps for the elderly in the community. And so, I also work with firefighters and police folks and homeless ministry and different things. So, this is a difficult thing that we have to address. And so, you've been elected by the people to make a decision, and behind you is God and hopefully your faith in the people that elected you. And so with that, I pray. But also, what I'd like to say is that as I was in a car wreck, about 8 months ago, I've been going to the gym and the YMCA, and I've met incredible people there all working together to improve themselves. And I see that here in this room. And so I think a lot of those folks that I look up to are firefighters and police people that keep us safe. And I don't know all of your phone numbers. I couldn't memorize them. But I do know every one of the people's numbers we would call if we were all in trouble would be 911. And in that case, could I have everyone who is a first responder stand up to represent the number of people here that would be affected by a pay increase that is deserved? Can we get a round of applause, please? So 3 points when you make a speech are important. There's three parts on a cross, and 3 numbers that we have to remember: 911, and we know who's going to show up. And when we invest in our first responders, there's an exponential return on investment. I work in about 6 different counties. A lot of people are coming from different parts of the country to come to this area for tax purposes, but also they're coming from Chattanooga and different areas that are more dangerous and building homes in this county. And I think it's important that we consider the elderly and reducing taxes on the elderly and for veterans that are in need, and potentially in the future have a tax exemption for people who don't meet an income requirement or a standard that we can't possibly get from the citizens. But I don't want to keep rambling on. Thank God for all your time and your efforts. God bless you all.
Next, please. Anyone else like to speak about the fire resolution? Being no one else on the public hearing is closed on this one, and I'll return it to Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll just read the first paragraph because it sets the rates. And make that a little bit bigger. Like you said, our eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Be it resolved by the County Commission of Bradley County, Tennessee, assembled in regular call session on the 26th day of June 2026, that pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated Section 5-17-106, that this County Commission hereby levies an annual fire tax upon the property owners of Fire District 2 Rural in the amount of 0.2558 on each 100 taxable property located within the county, but outside of the Fire District 1 fringe, also 0.2558 on each 100 of taxable property located within the Fire District 1 fringe for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, which is deemed by this commission to pay the budget of the county fire district. Again, I put this in the form of motion.
Okay, second would be by Commissioner Hughes. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a substitute motion to adopt the substitute county fire district tax levy resolution I'm passing around. The resolution does not include a fire tax increase.
We have a motion for a substitute have a comment for a substitute motion. It requires a second. Second by Commissioner Goins. Open for discussion. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Blake,
I thought there was discussion.
Yeah.
We haven't
We gotta read it.
We haven't received the document yet.
oh, yeah, okay.
To not have a fire tax. Go ahead and repeat the substitute motion.
Substitute motion is the county fire district tax levy resolution. I'll pass around the copy. Do you want me to read the resolution?
If you're going to have a substitute motion or resolution, we need to know what it says.
Well, you got a copy of it. I'll read it. Be it resolved by the County Commission, Bradley County, Tennessee, assembled in regular call session July 26th, Tennessee Annotated Code. Let me see what it would be. Hereby levies an annual fire tax upon the property owners of the Fire District 2 Rural in the amount of 0.2408 cents on each 100 of taxable property located within the county, but outside of the first Fire District fringe, 0.2182 cents on each 100 of taxable property located within the Fire District fringe for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, which is deemed by this commission to pay the budget of the county fire district. Is that enough, Mr. Chairman?
That's enough. Now, how does this substitutes the one that's being proposed, right?
That's correct. And I did not have my microphone the whole time I read that.
I think it office for the commissioners. We have a copy of it here. Anyone have any comments before we go to a vote? Commissioner Winters.
No, Mr. Chairman, she does.
So Commissioner Ledford, how does this change the total budget?
I'll give all those questions to the mayor. It's his resolution. I'll direct the questions to you, Mr. Mayor.
It's your resolution.
It's your resolution, it's not the
Not
mayor's.
the mayor doesn't have a vote, it's your
Okay.
resolution.
What is it that you're asking?
How does, so the budget that we're voting on has a total dollar amount. How do these tax numbers that you're presenting change the total budget?
It's what you read there. It's setting what the original tax, Fire Friends tax rate was. I read it to
How
you.
does this affect the percentage salaries that will be given?
I don't have a clue. I don't know. I really don't. I just know it was the original Fire Friends tax that would not cause a tax increase to the people of the Bradley County. This is the original Fire Friends tax that was presented in the mayor's original budget.
So you're recommending that this would support what percentage of pay increase is what I'm asking you?
I don't have a clue. I don't know.
Is it the same thing as the,
It's the same that was in
original proposal?
the original budget proposal that the mayor presented here. It's in there. And that's his original motion. I don't know why yous are doing this. It's right here. In the original budget proposal.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Winters.
No,
Rogers.
Rogers, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for some clarification, if you don't mind, Commissioner Ledford, what is the increase in in salaries and pays for this proposal, this substitute motion that you've given?
I do not know.
What is the total amount of dollars that will be given to the fire department to be able to use as operating expenses?
I do not know.
So, Mr. Chairman, we have a motion and a second on I don't know. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner, yes, Mayor.
I know I don't have a vote, but to clarify in reality what I think he's doing, this is the original resolution that funds the mayor's proposal for the fire department. The mayor's proposal for the fire department is the column right beside the finance committee's proposal. The only difference is the finance committee's proposal has the 15% raise. The mayor's proposal has the 6% raise. This resolution funds the 6%. Commissioner Blake's proposal, resolution funds the 15%.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the clarification, but I would have hoped that a commissioner that offered a substitute resolution would have been able to tell us that information. Thank you.
Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call the roll, please.
Blake,
Point of clarification, Mr. Chairman, that a no vote on the substitute motion sends it back to the original motion.
Right, the original motion is the one that you presented.
No.
Collins.
No.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson. Goins,
Yes.
Slater,
No.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
No.
Winters.
No.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
No.
Alford,
No.
Cry.
No.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? That's 5 in favor and 9 opposed.
Substitute motion fails. We go back to the original motion presented that we had a second on and presented by Commissioner Blake.
Yes.
Open for discussion. Being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
No.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
No.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
No.
Ledford,
No.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty,
No.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Anyone wish to change their vote? That's 9 in favor and 5 opposed.
Thank you. Let's see, that takes care of agenda item B. We'll now move to agenda item.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
We're now moving to agenda item C. Commissioner Mylan Blake. Your commission. Hold on. Commissioner Blake, normally the last time, then he says his thing, then I say the public hearing.
Resolution setting the tax levy, Bradley County, Tennessee, beginning July 1, 2026. Be it resolved by the Bradley County Commission, Tennessee, Civil, let me start over, I apologize. Be it resolved by the County Commission of Bradley County, Tennessee, assembled in regular called session on the 26th day of June, 2026, that the combined property tax rate for Bradley County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 shall be the state of Tennessee certified tax rate of 1.0772 of each $100 of taxable property, which is to provide the revenue for each of the following funds and otherwise conform to the following levies. I'll go over those briefly. The County General Fund, 0.3766. Local Library, 0.0150. Pike Road, 0.0664. General Purpose Schools, 0.4308. Capital Projects, 0.0228. And Debt Services, 0.1656. That brings us to 1.0772. Mr. Chair, I put this resolution in the form of motion. Thank you.
Do I have a second? Commissioner Slater on the second. We'll now go into a public hearing regarding this resolution. When you're recognized, please keep your remarks germane to the resolution at hand. Is there anyone present who wishes to speak for or against this request? You'll be limited to 5 minutes.
Good morning. I've lived in Bradley County my whole life as a veteran of the Gulf War and the father of 2 first responders. I understand what these people see on a daily basis and what they live with. I also understand that we have a right and a responsibility to maintain a conservative government. Our mayor has already presented a balanced budget with a decent increase. $41,000 salary a year, that's $19.74 an hour for a 40-hour work week. Go to any office around Bradley County and try to get a job making $20 an hour, answer the phone. It ain't gonna work. Why should we pay our county government employees at an inflated rate over what the private sector is paying? Mayor Davis has implemented a great budget, a balanced budget. Tax reappraisals, assessments on our properties increased our value 6.52% for me last year. That's my taxes. Went up 6.52% last year. Now you're proposing another tax increase. As I walk through the county buildings and you look around, I see people on personal cell phones sitting at desks doing nothing. So when you tell me you've exhausted everything, I don't think so. Number 2, why are we holding our first responders' pay as hostage to shove a tax hike down our throat? This is not good for Bradley. I oppose the tax increase, not because we don't want to give these folks a raise, but because the mayor has already implemented a balanced budget. The rising burden on residents of Bradley County is getting out of hand. The recent reassessments have already raised taxes. This does not impact renters at all. So there's a whole group of folks that we've set aside that this don't impact. This is putting the burden straight on residents of Bradley County. I think we need to look for alternate funding. Our road department gets 6.4%, I believe was the number of the county budget. We need to start looking around at how many roads we see paved. I don't see any on my end of town. We had to go to the state to get Spring Place paved. It's a state road, I understand that. But they're county roads that are all around there, and you can't drive on them. They're beating your cars to pieces. Again, when you tell me that we're doing everything right in Bradley County, that we're looking at every dollar, I don't think so. And when we prioritize money, we need to prioritize it toward the people that matter. But the burden can't lie on us. This is back in your court. You need to watch how we spend every dollar in this county. As a true conservative, which most of us say we are, we're watching you. This is our 250th anniversary of this country. This country was founded on taxation without representation. That's how this thing got started. We have entrusted you as our commissioners and our government to represent us and to treat us right. And by everything, you better be knowing that we're watching you and how you vote. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next, please. Anyone wants to speak? Yes.
I wanted to address it all at once. My name's John Humbert. I was in here last week. I'm one of at least 6 generations to farm in Bradley County, and my family's been right here for at least 250 years. I'm proud of my heritage. I may have misspoke that, but anyway, you get my point. I'm proud of my heritage, and I miss the small town hospitality, community, and the conservative background that made this country great. Unfortunately, there is no way for the taxpayers to voice that we absolutely do not want property tax increases without some people twisting it into a taxpayer versus county employee battle, which would not be productive or beneficial for anyone. Again, I've never said that the county employees don't deserve a raise. I simply want the commission to do its due diligence in finding ways to make that happen without raising taxes yet again. And there's no reason being able to do this with a balanced budget should not be possible. There are definitely other ways to pursue it, and several ways have already been presented to the commission. And a side note, you need to stay current on your emails and voicemails because I know some of these proposals have been sent that way. But anyway, a select few of you seem to have an agenda that works entirely against the taxpayers and your voters. My social media post, I made a couple since the last week, about holding the commission to be responsible for a balanced budget, now have well over 20,000 views, been shared dozens of times, and many more people have reached out to me personally. Many of our local farmers could not be here because they were working fields right now to try to beat the rain that's predicted for the weekend. So I'm here again to represent the majority of the taxpayers, and particularly our farmers, since several of our commissioners seem to just be turning your heads and looking away. I wrote several different versions of this, and I was really hoping that I wouldn't need to shuffle to the very back of my stack today to read this particular one. But after seeing propaganda from county employees on social media, I had a gut feeling that today was going to become a complete crap show. So I'm just going to say it. Most of the taxpayers are tired of hearing the whining sob stories and how incredibly dangerous some of the county jobs are from these people who are wanting a raise. While it is obvious this room is stacked with county employees, a lot of them in uniform, we are witnessing a perfect example of a conflict of interest. I don't know how many are on the clock right now, but it's even a bigger conflict of interest for those who are getting paid by the taxpayer to be here with their hands out, and their sole agenda is for the taxpayers to literally put more money in their pockets while taking even more hard-earned money out of ours. This is simply unacceptable. I don't normally talk about local farmers' livelihoods because most of us try to take care of ourselves and generally just want to be left alone making our living from integrity and honest hard work. But I'm going to give you all a small glimpse today. Our farm has mostly been self-sufficient and well managed to remain in existence. There are several tractors being utilized on our farm, and the newest one is over 30 years old. We are also not driving new vehicles around the road every day. Instead, we are doing what we have to in order to make ends meet and keep our farm budget operational. Soybeans have been one of my biggest farm producing incomes over the last few decades. The average price per bushel for soybeans last year was $10.40 a bushel. I know that probably means nothing to most of the people here, so for easy reference, the average price for soybeans in 2008 was $11.91 a bushel. So ultimately, I'm making nearly 15% less money than 17 years ago for the same amount of work, and every single input that we have to purchase to make this happen has at least doubled in that same amount of time, and most of it's tripled or quadrupled in price. Yet if you vote against the Bradley County taxpayers in favor of this ludicrous budget, you obviously think it's okay to increase my tax burden well over 20% in just 2 years. There are also hidden costs involved that no one seems to be talking about. This extra 20% penalty doesn't even start to include the extra money I have to come up with to cover the rising insurance cost, which is also going up due to the inflated values you think my property is now worth. The official seal of Bradley County, right here behind you, that is proudly displayed prominently in this courthouse, literally has agricultural written on it. Yet our county officials have been working feverishly against our farmers for many years with the agenda of removing all agriculture from our county in favor of the absurd amount of growth it is pushing.
Your 5 minutes are up, sir. Would you like more time?
Please, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Second. Got a Slater on the motion. Goins on the second. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yeah, yes. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Tennessee has lost 1.5 million acres of farmland to development over the last 20 years. That's the equivalent of 6 entire Tennessee counties. We really don't want Bradley County to be one of those entire statistics. I've said it before, you're all going to miss it when the last farming operation has to shut down, and with it, what's left of the last breathtaking rural scenery and landscape will disappear from this county. A big portion of the farming that is left in this county is forced to be subsidized with work, income from outside farming operations and such. I fit this category. I have to bust my butt working several extra jobs, and I file W-2s, multiple W-2s and 1099s in order to make enough money to pay my own way and do some of the things that I'm able to do. I also have to work extra to pay for all my benefits, such as my expensive yet comparatively very minimal health insurance. I don't get the full comprehensive health care packages. I also don't get extra pay for holidays or paid holidays off or even paid leave when I want to take it. As a matter of fact, I am literally on call 24/7 year-round, and I very rarely take a vacation from the farm. As far as danger goes, just don't even come at me with that. Farming is absolutely one of the most demanding and most dangerous jobs left in the United States. And in Bradley County, I can also say without hesitation that most of the farmers in here have had to run for their lives, probably many more times than all of the county employees combined. And there was no question that what we were running from was flat out intending to kill us. There's no waking up in the morning and wondering if something could possibly create harm to us today. Instead, our head has to be on a swivel all day long to ensure that equipment is operating properly and the unpredictable livestock aren't going to send us to the hospital with very little insurance to back us up or give us workers' comp due to the missed days of recovery. I'd be willing to bet every single county employee has had a raise or two, since many of the taxpayers have. And I would also be willing to compare personal finances, benefits, working conditions, and hours worked with pretty much any county employee that's here today. There was a balanced budget presented by Gary Davis. I'm just asking you all to not put the extra unnecessary burden on the taxpayers who are already stretched thin. One response I've heard about with the new growth tax money is that every time the county gets an area developed, the city annexes a developed property. With a little research, supposedly around 3,000 homes have been built in the county without being annexed in the last 5 years. Most of these properties used to be farmland, and when those acres were developed with houses, the new tax assessments on those same acres went through the roof. So the revenue went up exponentially on those same properties. The simple fact is, all this new growth and development is being shoved down our throats needs to be paying for itself along the way. And if it's being managed properly, it should ultimately be reducing the tax burden on the county taxpayers instead of increasing the burden. Most of us out in the county are absolutely disgusted and don't want all the extra growth anyway. We especially don't want to have to subsidize all this ugly growth due to poor management right here that can't even seem to approve a balanced budget. We voted for you and we hired for you to stand up for us, the taxpayers. So get rid of this proposed property tax increase and pass a balanced budget. In conclusion, as a farmer, I have to work hard enough to put food in my mouth and yours. I also have to somehow make enough money to pay my taxes as well as the county employees' taxes. So if you're in here today talking about pushing a budget with a substantial tax increase, I think you just need to sit down, quit complaining, and for God's sake, don't talk with your mouth full. Thanks.
Anyone else?
I'm Susan Ormby. I hadn't planned on speaking today, but actually this makes me sick when I look around and think I worked union for years and years and years, and we never got a 15%. I worked for Bell South. 6%, 8% over 3 years. We never got that. And whiny people, we all have dangerous jobs. We love you all. We thank you for what you do. But I have had to make ends meet my whole life. Most of these people that work jobs have 2 jobs. I'll be 78 years old, and I work a day a week just to have extra money. I pay taxes. When we bought our property in the 70s, our first year tax was less than $20. Now I have given my kids property, and my tax bill is almost $1,000, and I paid for my property 40 years ago. So how can I keep on supporting people? I can't. I've worked my whole life, and to pay taxes like that, there's another way. The property people should not have to do this. There's renters. Look at all the apartment buildings. Sales tax, whatever it takes, you do it, but not off of our backs, not off of these farmers' backs. We're old. We're not going to be here. I was looking through my notes. We were needing to lime our property. And I looked through some notes that I had looked from my father-in-law years ago, and it was like he was going to lime maybe 80 acres, and it was less than $3,000. You know what it costs to lime that 80 acres today? $10,000. I don't have that in my back pocket. I mean, there's no way. You just need to stop and think about us. The seniors, the people. I know you want rid of our farms. You don't take care of our farms. You could care less. And we could care less about the business and stuff. I mean, we're thankful for everything we have. We're thankful for these people. I have young people. I know a personal person that works for the county. And, I mean, most of them do have 2 jobs or 3, just like most of us. Look at John. His family farm. His dad's worked his whole life. And John's trying to keep it up. We're trying to keep it up. My kids inherited their grandparents' farm, which my property joins theirs. They inherited that, and they try to keep it going. But it's hard. It's very hard. They're near retirement, too. But that's all I have to say. I just think you need to stop. There's nothing wrong with the budget he has. Nothing wrong with it. We live on less than that. I guess the most I ever made in my life in 1 year was $50,000. You know? Just think about us. Care about us for a while. We elect you all. We want a balanced budget that he has. We voted him in as mayor. He should stand for something. That's all I have to say.
Next, please.
Deborah Gleason, 4th District. Our fight isn't with the first responders. Our fight is with this commission, not supporting our mayor who has given us a balanced budget. It's not your position to change that to increase our taxes. You weren't voted to do that. You were voted as a conservative commission, not as a liberal Democrat commission. We, as this lady just said, I've lived in an era where you had to get a second job if you had to make ends meet. That's not anything unusual. That's not anything that is queer or weird. It's something that you just do. And our farmers, who are more important than anyone here because they feed us and provide us with the commodities that we need, they're not being considered here. The people who are elderly are not being considered here. The people who have had employment for 30, 40, 50, and continue to have employment. In order for us to make ends meet, we have to take on part-time jobs at our age, just to make things that we can live the way that we need to live, which is very modestly. We don't take long vacations to Disney or anything like that. So our fight isn't with them, our fight is with you. You are to uphold a balanced budget. And if you cannot figure out how to do that, I'll tell you what, when I was campaigning, I was amazed at the people in our district that are resource of knowledge. They could come in here and teach you some things. It's unfortunate they're not up there because they know what to do. It's not your job to impose that on the taxpayers. It's your job to find a way. It's your job to figure out how you keep that budget balanced without increasing our taxes. That's your responsibility. That's what the people expect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Whitney Payne, and I have proudly served with the Bradley County Sheriff's Office for the last 5 years. Before I begin, I'd like to thank each of you for the opportunity to stand in front of you and hear my perspective today. Outside of my uniform, I'm also a mother. I have a son and a daughter who recently graduated EMT school and will soon begin serving the citizens of Bradley County as well. She is also the mother of my beautiful granddaughter. Service isn't just about my career, it's something my family believes in. Like many of my fellow deputies, I'm also the sole provider for my household. To provide for myself, my children, and my granddaughter when needed, I work overtime on every day that I have scheduled off, just to maintain financial stability. I don't say that because I'm looking for sympathy. I say it because I know I'm not alone. I'm not here because I'm unhappy with my job. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm here because I love what I do. I love serving the people of Bradley County. I love the relationships I've built throughout this community, and I love the men and women I have the privilege of serving beside every day. Over the last 5 years, many of those coworkers and their families have become my family. Bradley County isn't just where I work. It's where I've built my life. It's home, and there is nowhere else I want to serve. I've heard people say you knew what you signed up for. They're right. We knew we'd work nights, weekends, holidays. We knew we'd run towards situations others run away from. We knew we'd witness things most people, thankfully, never have to experience. Because this isn't just a job, it's a calling. We don't answer that calling because it's easy or because it's financially rewarding. We do it because serving others becomes part of who we are. Every day, we carry burdens most people never see. We show up on people's worst days. We comfort families, protect our community, and carry those experiences with us long after the shift ends. We don't do this for recognition. We do it because we care deeply about the people who call Bradley County home. But answering that call shouldn't mean struggling to provide for our own families. I've also heard people say that if we needed more money, we should simply get a second job. Respectfully, I don't believe that's the answer. Again, most of us already work overtime, weekends, and holidays just to make ends meet. Every extra shift means more time away from the people we love, time we will never get back. The answer can't be asking those who already sacrifice so much to sacrifice even more. I've also heard that we should simply live within our means, and I understand that perspective. But the cost of living continues to increase, while many county employees continue to struggle keeping up. We're not asking to become wealthy. We're simply asking for the opportunity to earn a livable wage doing the job we love in the community we love. Because this isn't just about us, it's about keeping experienced deputies who know this community. It's about attracting good people who want to build a career here instead of leaving for agencies that simply pay enough to support a family. Most importantly, it's about ensuring the citizens of Bradley County continue receiving the level of service they deserve. I don't want to leave Bradley County. I don't want to wear another agency's patch. I don't want to choose between the career I love and the people I love. I want to continue serving this community and standing beside the men and women who wear the uniform with me, people I proudly call family. My daughter has chosen the same path of service. My hope is that 5 years from now, she won't have to stand where I am today asking for the same opportunity I'm asking for on behalf of all of us. Today, I'm simply asking you to invest in the people who have already invested so much of themselves into Bradley County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, please. Anyone else like to speak?
Good afternoon. My name is Tamara Stillwell. I'm a resident of the 2nd District. I'm going to make this very brief. I believe that this will resonate with pretty much everybody in this room. This is not the citizens against our first responders. I don't think there is a person in this county that doesn't want to take care of our first responders. Not one. If there is any, let me know. Crickets, that's what I thought. Okay, so that being said, we've had an awful lot of alternative methods to raise the funds needed to take care of these people, as they should be. It cannot be at the expense, always, by the property owners, including our farmers. You want to have a bad day? Make it where we don't have any farmers. Y'all gonna starve real fast. Seriously. They matter. Everything cannot be put on the burden of the taxpayers. This gentleman farmer gave you a wonderful alternative. Did anybody up here look into something like that? Yeah? No way we can make that work. Absolutely no way. There's always no way but the taxpayers. Lots of us feel like this is the easy way out. I'll say it. And it tends to be. It's hard work to give balanced budgets and pay the people. We get that. Stop picking our pockets. My taxes went up over $400 just from the reappraisal. Thank you. We appreciate it. That's $400 more we can't help our first responders with. Pretty sure it didn't go there. I'm sure nothing anyone has said today is going to change any mind that's sitting up there. However, I will say, as everyone else has, we are paying attention. Might be your last term. You can do right by everyone by doing the right thing, and this is not it. We need to pay them, same as everyone else. There are better ways to do it. The mayor has offered one. It may not be what you want, but it's still an increase. While that happens, you work at the other alternatives to figure out how to get these people paid better. That's what we're asking for. It is not the citizens against the responders, and I'm tired of people making it look that way. It isn't. We support these people, and we want them to be paid. But you can't keep digging in our pockets to do it, so we're paying attention. Thank you, Mayor, for doing your due diligence. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Yes, sir.
My name's Tony DeLay, and I'm a farmer on south, on the end of Dalton Pike on Mitchell Road, and everybody's done went over the farm deal, but what was the budget in 2015 for Bradley County? The tax base. It was just a little under $149 million. The one that Gary just proposed was 224, right? So you've increased $75 million. You can say we hadn't had a tax increase, but when your tax base goes up, you've got more money. And if you can't find ways to do what needs to be done for first responders' salaries, police salaries, that's y'all's fault. You've had plenty of growth. Now, we give $5 million for ball field turf that a lot of places have took out because it's causes so many injuries to kids. And the grass was good for 50 years. I don't know why we would spend $5 million for that. And there's lots of other things that I'm sure could have been delayed or not even done and been better off. And they talk about salary, and salary is important, but benefits nowadays is more important than salary in a lot of cases. John Humbert, on his insurance, the problems that farmers have, but no one in Bradley County that I know of even have pension plans anymore except government, county government. Mars used to have the best retirement deal around, and now they don't even have a pension. They have 401k, and they match a little bit of it, but that's it. So if county employees making $36,000 a year versus someone at, say, Peyton's, if they make the same amount of money, what's the real salary by the time you count pensions and retirement versus they don't get anything at Peyton's except a 401k that's not matched. So there's a lot of different things there that you look at, but I just think that if you wanted first responders to have this money, you could found other ways to give it to them, just like the ball field. And I don't know. I'm not for, like I say, all these, it causes burdens on everyone. And I know they need more money, but that's what y'all been elected for, not to raise taxes, to look how to fund all these things without raising taxes. Because we have I could see if it was, everybody was moving out like some places up north and you was losing tax base and you still had all this stuff to pay, but we're going the other way. What if we quit growing? Then 5 years, I wish we would quit growing, but if we did, what would you do then if the tax base wasn't growing like it has been? So is that just, we're going to get tax raises every 3 or 4 years? That's all. I don't think we need a tax raise. I think you need to manage your gap, which is what Gary's done. And if you don't feel like he did enough, next year you've got a whole year to work on it and find these people more money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
Good afternoon. I know you all have heard from me before, but I just wanted to take the time today to speak to you one more time before you make a very hard decision that I know you have to make. My name is Courtney Berger. I have worked at the Sheriff's Office for almost 10 years now. I have saved lives, solved burglaries, successfully negotiated with a person in crisis that ended with a peaceful surrender. I've held the hand of loved ones who have learned their family member just died and gave them compassion. We are not asking to live in luxury. We are asking for the significant gap in pay be made right, although it still does not compare us to surrounding agencies and cities. This county can replace me, I know that. However, if they hire a 21-year-old straight out of the academy, it will take 10 years for that person to gain the knowledge and the experience that I have in the last 10 years. I'm not the only employee looking around at departments around me and comparing pay and family insurance. One of my children, I have two, does not have health insurance because I cannot afford what the county provides for us as a family coverage, and I simply cannot afford to have private insurance like his brother has had since he was born. I do not want to leave and take my experience with me. I want to continue to work for this county. I believe that this commission and our community does see the need and will make the decision to keep all citizens of Bradley County in mind in passing this proposed raise. I want to end with simply saying thank you for the proposal and thank you for voting for your community to retain the employees that it has. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners, Mayor Davis. My name is Caitlin Arceri, and I live in District 3. Thank you for the time and for the work each of you have put into this budget process over the past several months. Over the past 2 meetings, I've presented you with data, law, and responsibilities for this Commission's consideration. I appreciate the time given to engage with that information. This Commission has the responsibility to evaluate the Mayor's budget proposal, ask the difficult questions, make changes where necessary, and ultimately decide what is in the best interest of our county. That is your obligation as the county's legislative body under Tennessee Code Annotated 5-9-401. The compensation gap before you today did not develop in a single budget cycle. It accumulated over many years, decades even. Had regular adjustments been made over the last 26 years, employees and taxpayers would not be facing this necessary market adjustment today. As you consider this vote, one point is important to keep in focus. There's a difference between perception and documented fact. Public input is important and should always be heard, but policy decisions cannot be made on perception. Documented facts tell a different story. A decision rests with this commission today, and the outcome will be reflected directly in the stability of our county services moving forward. I respectfully encourage you to support the Finance Committee's recommendation. The market adjustment is necessary and overdue. It is critical to retain our first responders and other essential county employees so we can sustain Bradley County services each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? There being anyone else? There being no one else to speak, we have go back to Commissioner Blake.
I have a motion and a second already. So
We got a second on it? Yes, okay. Sir. Any discussion from the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I make a substitute motion to adopt substitute tax levy resolution I am passing around. Does not include a tax increase.
Okay. Do I have a second on the substitute motion? Commissioner Goins on the second. We'll wait a second here till we get it passed around. When you get the substitute motion, the resolution here, read it and we'll try to skip some of the confusion. Mayor, is this the same as the last one? That's what you presented?
This, I think it's correct to say this is the resolution that leaves the tax rate as it is today. Yes.
Is that correct, Commissioner?
Yes, and it's in this original budget proposal, just like the last tax increase was in the original proposal that everyone has a copy of.
We have a first and we have a second to open for discussion on the substitute motion. There being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake,
No.
Collins.
No.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson. No. Goins,
Yes.
Slater,
No.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
No.
Winters,
No.
Beatty,
Yes.
Peters,
No.
Alford,
No.
Cry.
No.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? That's 5 in favor and 9 opposed.
Thank you. We'll now go back to the original motion presented and with a first and second by Commissioner Blake. Open for discussion. No, not on this. I guess I have to say that the public hearing is closed. I forgot to say that, but any other discussion? Being no further discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
At this time, I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted, as I am an employee of Bradley County Schools. I'm disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by TCA 55112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience, to my obligation to my constituents, and the citizens this body represents, most importantly to me, to my faith in my Savior, Jesus Christ. My answer is, my vote is yes.
Gilbert,
I have to disclose that it is a conflict of interest in proposal about to be voted on. As my wife is the employee of the Bradley County Schools, and this matter will affect her pay benefit. I am disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by the TCA 5-5-112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligation to the 4th District and the constituents and the citizens of this body that I represent.
and your vote?
Yes. No.
Thompson, Goins, Slater.
Yes.
Mason.
I have a statement prepared, Chairman. For 25 years, I've proudly served Bradley County as a deputy sheriff's, and I have had the honor of serving as your county commissioner for 8 years. I deeply believe our county employees and first responders deserve fair pay. And this decision has weighed heavily on my heart because, after all, I am one of them. But when I took office, I made a promise to represent the people of the 6th District and be a careful steward of their tax dollars. After much prayer and reflection, and also from the many people who have reached out, I believe I must honor that commitment. My vote is not against our county employees or first responders. It is simply a decision that I believe is in the best interest of the citizens who elected me to serve. In my conflict of interest statement, I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted. As I am an employee of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, this matter would affect my pay benefits. I am disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by TCA 55112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligation to my constituents and the citizens this body presents, and my vote's no.
Ledford.
No.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Mr. Chairman, are we going to get to speak to this motion as well as vote at this point? Can I say a word or two? Can I say a word or two?
Yeah, you can go ahead and say a word, yeah.
I'm going to vote yes on this, but I've heard comments that I probably need to be straightened out a little bit here. First of all, we are not digging into your pockets. I've been here 16 years. We've had 3 tax situations, 2 in the last 10 years. The last tax that went up is because your property went up. But to say that we are digging into your fees, your money, we're not after that. Also, I had a employee of Bradley County share with me just this morning that the situation that we have here for this vote is a salary equity problem. It's that what we give in salary is not equal, close to what other people do with this deal, and it's on me as an elected official that they're my personnel. But for all these years that you're saying that the county commission hasn't moved forward, it's in those budgets that have come through, it said we could get what you want of no tax. But because we do a 3% salary increase for 20 years, or we do a 2%, that's good. But this guy wrote in writing to me, it's like going to an eatery like Longhorn and pay them what you have at McDonald's, the McDonald restaurant. So you go eat at Longhorn and pay $200 a meal, and you give a tip equal to if that person worked at McDonald's. That's kind of what we got going here. We've got people that we are expecting in our community to provide for us steak dinners, and we're wanting to pay them, and we have for 20 years. I've been a part of this, and I don't take pride in that. I'm voting yes on this issue because I'm tired of the fact that we do 2%, 3%, all of these years, and it's been on the back of other employees as well. So that's where I am. But to say that a county commission is ours, and I'm speaking to a county commissioner as well over here. We did not come here to do taxes. I didn't come here to do taxes. I'm sitting through this, feeling the same pain you're feeling here. I'm also an employer. You've elected, I had a lady come in here say that we can't tell the mayor, in this case, what we think. Well, my district voted for me to do that. We don't have an emperor. We don't have a king. Our mayor doesn't make that ultimate call in this. Our community makes this call in this. And for the majority of us in here, we think the majority of the calls that I've gotten, and even from the districts that had to say no, those people need money. Well, if we don't give those people money, some of these are going to go out the door. And some of these aren't going to be there to take care of your wife like they took care of my wife. Some people live on principle. Some people live on procedure. I've lived for people. I know your name. I know what you do. And I know what these people do because they took care of me in the middle of my problems. So I vote yes on this, and my fellow. But to say what's been said here, I need to set the record straight here. The taxes hasn't been what we wanted to do all the years. It's a salary equity challenge. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Beatty,
No.
Hughes,
I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted, as I am an employee of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, and this matter would affect my pay and or benefits. I am disclosing this conflict prior to the casting my vote, required by the Tennessee Code Annotated 5-5-112. I declare that my argument and my vote answers only to my conscience and to the obligations to my constituents and citizens this body represents. Yes.
Alford,
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? That's 9 in favor and 5 opposed.
Thank you. Agenda item D, Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A resolution making appropriations for various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of the Bradley County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. Section 1, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Bradley County, Tennessee, assembled in regular called session on the 26th day of June, 2026, that the amounts hereafter set out are hereby appropriated for the purpose of meeting the expenses of various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Bradley County, Tennessee, for the capital outlay and for the meeting of payment of principal and interest on county debt maturing during the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027, according to the following schedule. You have that itemized there. Mr. Chairman, I put this resolution in the form of a motion. Thank you.
Do I have a second, please? Commissioner Hughes on the second. Open for discussion. Being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes, ma'am. This resolution also requires conflict statement. I disclose I have a conflict of interest in this proposal about to be voted on, as I'm an employee of Bradley County Schools. I'm disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by TCA 55112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience, to my obligation to my constituents and the citizens this body represents, most importantly to me, to my faith, and my Savior Jesus Christ. My vote is yes.
Gilbert,
I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in this proposal about to be voted on, as my wife is the employee of the Bradley County Schools, and this matter would affect her pay, benefits, and I'm disclosing the conflict prior to casting my vote, required by TCA 5-5112. I declare that my argument and my vote answers only to my conscience and to my obligation to the constituents and my citizens in this body that I represent. It's no.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins. Slater.
Yes.
Mason.
I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted, as I am an employee of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, and this matter would affect my pay benefits. I'm disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by TCA 5-5-112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and my obligation to my constituents and citizens of this body represents it's no.
Ledford.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to also say, I apologize if I seemed hostile. My vote is no.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
No.
Hughes.
I disclose that I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted, as I am an employee of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, and this matter would affect my pay and benefits. I am disclosing this conflict prior to casting my vote required by the TCA 5-5-112. I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligations to my constituents and the citizens this body represents. Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? That's 9 in favor and 5 opposed.
Thank you. We'll now go to agenda item E. Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the resolution for nonprofit. A resolution making appropriations to nonprofit charitable organizations of Bradley County, Tennessee for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. Whereas, subject to compliance with the Tennessee Code annotated Section 5-9-109, authorizing the county legislative body to make appropriations to nonprofit charitable organizations, and whereas the Bradley County legislative body recognizes the various nonprofit charitable organizations located in Bradley County have great need of funds to carry out their nonprofit charitable work. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Bradley County Commissioner of Bradley County on the 26th day of June 2026 as follows. And you have the itemizations there through section 1 through 16. Mr. Chairman, I put this resolution in form of motion. Thank you.
Do I have a second? Commissioner Slater on the second. Open for discussion. Being no discussion, call the roll, please.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. We'll now move along to communication from the audience. I will recognize and allow up to 5 minutes for anyone wishing to speak. Speakers must speak into the microphone, identify themselves for the record, and address their concerns to the commission as a whole. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Ed Elkins, and I served as a commissioner for 8 years. And I have to say that I'm disappointed in the outcome of the votes today. Folks like me who are on a fixed income, and I've been retired for years and years, and the people that are sitting up there making the votes probably have other jobs, but you're getting paid for being a county commissioner too. So you got extra income. But think about all of the people out here in Bradley County who are on fixed incomes, and now you're raising their taxes, and the cost of their houses keep going up, which would provide tax income to the county. Now you're going to double it. I'm disappointed. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Hey, I'm Randall Gladson, 4th District. The man that sat up here told us about McDonald's and Longhorn slept through half of the meeting. Now, how disrespectful is that, citizen?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
What about it?
You cannot.
I didn't call no name. You were
You have-
very disrespectful to Tommy Ledford. Didn't make a spectacle
Point of
out
order.
everybody.
Looking at Tommy Ledford.
We're not, you have to identify.
Well, he does not have no right to talk to me. You do. He don't.
Well, I'm talking to you,
All right,
okay?
talk.
All right, I'm telling you, you have no right to speak to them personally like you.
I didn't call his name.
You were looking, well,
I did not call his name.
well, I'm telling you, speak to the commission as a whole, and we'll be all right. We're letting
No,
you.
all of y'all weren't asleep.
Go ahead and speak, sir. If not, go ahead and speak if you'd like, but not directly.
So I can't point at all y'all?
No.
You got that in writing?
I've got it where I'm telling you, and if you don't
Are you going to throw me out of here? You going to arrest me?
I'm not going
Come
to
on.
arrest you, but I'll
Let's
have the
go.
law
Have him
officer.
arrest me. Come on. Now,
Randall,
I did not.
Randall, stop. It's okay.
Don't challenge
But you know, that's very disrespectful.
No one's been disrespectful to you, sir. We're going out of our way to be nice. Now, if you can cooperate, that's fine. If not,
No,
we'll
that's
have a
all I have
law
to say.
officer remove
That's
you.
all I have to say, but I wanted to say that.
Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Hello, my name is Billy Myers. I've recently started looking into the county and the behavior of the county employees. I do agree with the pay raise for the cops and the workers. I do think they should get paid more. I recently seen one getting paid $20 an hour, which is insane. But I hope with the pay raise that we start holding them more accountable. The county clerks who refuse to take public records requests, and sheriff's department for illegal stops, thrown out in court, beating people up, such as my brother. But I hope we start holding them more accountable if they're going to make more money. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to speak?
Again, my name is Courtney Berger. Thank you for listening to all of us today. And genuinely, I just wanted to say thank you to those who voted. I also understand that some of those couldn't because they've had reasons in their hearts of why they couldn't do that. But I think that this will help retain and also attract quality employees to this county. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Got one coming.
My name's Noah Kripe. Y'all have seen me before. I met most of you. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the first responders over here. Your votes really matter today, and I want to second what Courtney said on this is really going to help us with retention and keeping good employees. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak? There being no one else who would like to speak, announcements. Next meeting, work session, Monday, July the 13th, 2026 at 12 p.m. here at the courthouse. Upcoming events, county offices are closed Friday, July the 4th in observance of Independence Day.